Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So, this is gonna be episode 2 of the Takealot PC build guide that hopefully you would have seen the first video of. What I'm doing in this series, just to catch you up, is I'm gonna try and do it every second week now, but I'm gonna look at Takealot, and build computers at different price ranges using parts just from their website. And I'll try between each of the videos to use the same part, um, and then change if there's new deals, so I'm not fluctuating too much, because hopefully some parts stay in stock, but as you'll see as we go through, some parts were no longer available because of how Takealot's supply works. I mean, they're not as big as Amazon or Newegg, in terms of how many components they have available, how the variability, the variety, I should say. Okay, so what I've got is I've got the model, and then if the new part, even though it could be the same, and then price and new price. So I think almost in all of them, except for like one of the cases, we saw price changes, and I could even actually drop the price of that one there because oh no, wait, there, 909,849. I mean, I could have dropped that case too. Anyway, so let's go more in depth to this. And also, actually, in terms of price changes, I think actually, okay, so the 10,000 rand and the 25,000 rand dropped in total price, which is nice, even though it's not that much, but it means you are saving a bit more. But what I was gonna say is that all of the computers, all the builds had an increase in performance. Some very minor, whereas others were a lot greater. Okay, now just the gaming performance for the 10,000 and 50,000 rand system went up mainly because the GTX 1650 went on special. I think it was almost the same price as the normal 1650. So the super was it. It was a super deal. Actually, there we go. So this is just your standard 1650, and this is the super, and you can see the price difference. Now, I don't know how long this special is gonna be on. That's why I want to do this series every 2 months. So if there's specials, not every 2 months, every 2 weeks. So that if there's specials, at least you guys can capitalize on them, as soon as they, if you follow the videos, and as soon as you see something that's good or whatever, then you can capitalize and buy that. Because I mean, at least I'm giving you, if you don't want to build this exact PC, at least you're knowing kind of what the pricing is looking like without having to search through Takealot yourself. So the main differences, for the 10,000 rand, so we kept the same Ryzen 3, because it actually went down in price, and it wasn't reasonable to try and push for a Ryzen 5. You could probably go for a Ryzen 5 2600 off Amazon, but Takealot don't have stock of, I think they just got the Ryzen 7 second gen, the 2700. I think that's all they've actually got stock of from the second gen of Ryzen CPUs. So that stayed the same. We did have to change the memory. I can't remember what the reasoning was. I think it's because they actually didn't have stock of it. Now, this is what I was saying. It's Takealot. The things fluctuate quite greatly. I mean, they don't have stock of as wide ranges as Amazon does. And for the next video, I'll probably put relative Amazon pricing next to these, so you can see what Amazon's pricing is doing for these. I think it would be quite difficult for me to do Amazon build guides because they have so many parts and so many different prices, so it's going to be harder for me to pick out specifics there, because then each build would just be kind of what I think looks cool at the end of the day, because they have more versions of 1650, or more versions of a RTX 2060, or they got the Ryzen 5 2600 and 3600. It's like, do I want to? So there's more of my opinion, whereas this is a lot more. I can give you builds like more directly, I guess. So anyway, we had to choose a different memory. Now, this is both a good and a bad thing. So firstly, this is a single stick of 16 gig memory as opposed to two of 8 gigs. Now, in the case of our motherboard, which, if I remember, only has two RAM slots, two memory slots, this is good for upgradability. And okay, it was also 2400, so it's a lower clock speed. And with Ryzen, you do want the higher clock speeds. But for a lower end system, it might actually be better to have a single stick and then you can upgrade later. There were other variations to this, but they were just getting way too pricey in terms of the Corsair Vengeance RGB version. The 2x8 gigs was like 2,000 Rand. That might have been better for someone else. That is an option, but yeah, this was just, I was just thinking maybe for upgradability purposes, if you've only got one slot, then at least you just need to get a second one as opposed to replacing your whole memory kit later on. We kept the same motherboard, and then this was when the 1650 Super came in, and this is why we got such a change in gaming, and a gaming score on user benchmark, because the 1650 Super is so much better than a 1050, obviously. We kept the same SSD, we kept the same hard drive. Why is it showing? Oh, okay, so I changed from the WD purple. I don't know why I chose the purple originally, because it was a lot more expensive than the blue was ever going to be. So we changed to a Western Digital blue 1TB, so we saved 200 Rand there. I kept the same power supply, 450 watts is enough for the system. And then I kept the same case because it's a decent price and it's a nice looking case. So I mean, you don't have to worry about having a case that you're going to want to change down the line. For the 15,000 Rand system, we kept the same CPU, but it just went up in price. Yeah, nothing we could do there, but yeah, I mean, I think the overall bill for this one went up by 400 Rand. We couldn't really help that, and then, oh, I did keep the same memory kit. I think it's because it went up by so much that I actually changed. I think, yeah, that would have been why I changed. It wasn't feasible to go for 1,906 Rand for a kit. I mean, I guess if you're willing to pay that extra bit of money, then rather go for the dual kit. But upgradability versus paying a little bit extra for dual memory now, you can weigh that up yourself. Kept the same motherboard, and also swapped out the GTX 1650, the basic one, for the Super, which once again gave quite a big change in gaming performance. Western Digital Green, we sticking to that as our boot drive, and then a 1TB storage. Cooler Master 700 watts, because this is a higher end system and the greater wattage will allow for greater upgradability in the future. And we changed the case because I decided, you know what, save some money, because I think I was over the price at this time, over the 15,000 Rand. I was like, you know what, we can drop down to the same case as the 10,000 Rand build. It's a really nice looking case, made by Thermaltake, so you know it's a good brand. And it's also, you know, it fits an mATX motherboard, which is what we're looking at here with the B450 Gaming Pro from MSI. Just sadly, all these things kind of went up in price, by quite a bit. I mean, that went up by a whole 600 Rand. Yeah, so this was kind of the only build that we kind of cut closer, but still I kept it under the 15,000 Rand, even if it was only by 9 Rand. And then the last one, which I think I have like 5 minutes to do. So the 25,000 rand build, as I was saying, the 2700 is still there, and look, the price is going down. So hopefully, we'll be able to go for the Ryzen 7 3rd gen soon, as the prices change. Because I would also expect that the 2700 will soon not be in stock. I mean, they will probably stock it for a bit longer, but I don't expect them to stock it for forever. Like the Ryzen 5 2600, they didn't find a point in keeping it. We upgraded the memory to double the amount, and also it's the RGB version, and it's 3200 megahertz. And also it went up by quite a bit, 800 rand. But I still made it work. What did I do with the motherboard? ASUS Pro Gaming X. The motherboard, I actually just found a better deal. And I saved quite a bit of money there. Otherwise, I would have been over. It's also an X570, and it's also an AM4, and it's also Gigabyte. And it's also 4 memory slots. So that's a fine replacement. It might just not have the same amount of RGB and all that, but yeah. I stuck to a 2060 for the graphics card, just literally a brand change to get a saving, because I don't even actually think they had this one anymore, but I saved. I went for a 500 gig M.2 NVMe SSD. I decided I can go a bit more, because actually by the time I had priced out the system, I had like 700 rand left to spare, so I was able to pick some better parts, like the better memory and all that. So that's why in an NVMe as opposed to just your SATA, even though it's M.2 as well, but like just faster things, because speed. And then also I was able to go for a 4 terabyte Western Digital Blue, which I think if you're buying this system, you're more like, you probably game more. Well, actually, in saying that, it doesn't really matter. Anyone who buys a gaming PC games. Stuck with the same power supply. It went down in price. Yay. And stuck with the same case. So, and yeah, the performance changes weren't that great. I think once you get to kind of 25,000 rand and over, actually even over 20,000 rand, you don't see that much variation in performance, unless you do the major jumps, and you'd go to like let's say 30,000 from here, from like 23,000. And also here there's quite a bit of more room to play, so this is for your RGB, or if you guys think there's another upgrade that you want to do instead, pick out a better case. I kind of just go, what's the best case for the budget? I mean, I could even go for the same one I used for the previous 2 builds and have a bit more money saved, but I just kind of was like, I can leave it like that, it's fine. Yeah, please, I will put these parts in the description. I'll probably just only put the new parts, seeing as I put the old parts in the previous video. If you guys have any recommendations, any swap outs that you would have me check, or if you guys want me to maybe do a separate Amazon one as well, obviously that's going to be me sitting around for a lot longer, working out prices and having to account for shipping. I'll probably just be like, okay, what's the standard shipping amount if I were to just build a basic PC, and then probably just account for that. But yeah, if you have any variations to what I put here, or if you feel there's something that I left out that maybe, is a bad reason for actually going for like a single memory with 2400, which is quite slow, especially if you're running AMD. And for all of you that love Intel, I apologize for picking AMD. I just find AMD's numbering and naming system a lot easier to understand than Intel's. With, you know, Intel has all those letters, and it just, I mean, I know it's easy enough, just go Google, type it in, and you'll find it. But yeah, it's just a bit extra that I would have to do. Yeah, and I actually came up with a 5,000 Rand build, but I don't even think I'm actually gonna do a video on it. Or maybe I will just do a short video, but the build made me kind of cringe. I was like, no, I would never build this. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this and want me to continue doing it, I'm going to try and do it every second week, maybe every week, I don't know, it depends. Yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to stay tuned for more, and then it also lets me know if I must continue doing something like this, if you like this. I don't really see many people here doing these types of PC build guides, especially from Takealot. I mean, you can see from Amazon and that, but as frequently as this, keeping track of pricing, which is probably why people don't do it from Amazon and Newegg, because the prices, they got so much diversity. It's like, what do you actually tell people to build? And then it becomes more kind of a personal thing, and it's not really what everyone else wants. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.